real quick, we'll look at the link you gave me. You don't have a lot of time for this one, but again, I'm just gonna refund the points. You can restart the writer real quick. That's unfortunate. Okay, let's refund reward queue. Reject. Okay, ooh, Hanamura is a weird one. So your team is picking good heroes. I just want to explain. Hold on. Real quick, how this usually goes. Usually, the way you would play this is you would have. We just have to watch the defense. That's fine. I refunded it anyway because I just kind of want to explain how it goes. The way you usually play this is with Orisa. Everything else looks fine to me. Maybe you want Baptiste instead, so Bap also. But everything else looks okay to me. You play Orisa here. You play with the Sigma on the high ground or Sigma behind the Orisa. And then you just do as much damage as you can when people are coming forward. Here, it's a similar idea. But yeah, I figured because you say Sigma Rothok. The idea is similar. The problem is that with Rothok, we have one less shield. And the most important part is that we don't have the halt. Halt is very important to stop teams from coming through. Like if they want to speed through or if they want to die, for example, you can pull them at the choke so that they take even more damage, which is something you cannot do with Rothok. So is Sigma Rothok viable for this map? I think not. In this map, I would usually play either Ryan Sigma on the choke or Orisa Sigma on the high ground, and then yeah, this is fine. Usually above this if you want to play Orisa Sigma, and you can keep Ana if you're gonna play Ryan Sigma, but the way you let me go, for example, how do you play this? I'm gonna explain it on another map actually because it's a lot easier to explain on like another map. I can browser create maps none. Where is Junker Town? Spectators. Stats. So the way you want to play the Sigma Rothok comp is playing different angles, which is something you can still do where you were playing it, but it's a lot easier to explain on Hanamura. So it's a lot easier to play on Junkertown than Hanamura. So I came here to explain it. So the way you play the Sigma Rothok comp is basically you have people hold different angles each. And Junkertown, for example, is really good for it because you can have a Sigma here holding main, a Rothok holding inside and threading a pick with the. So okay, the idea in general is playing, for example, Sigma, Rothok, Ash plus Mercy, and then you play like Hanzo and Ana or Baptiste. Baptiste is better actually. Just go with Baptiste. And the way you do this is you play with different angles so that the enemy team cannot really commit to one angle. You just pressure them from so many different angles that you basically always have an option to do free damage. You have Sigma holding main because Sigma is really good at holding a point. So you have Sigma here. We have Rothok inside because if they want to push a Rothok, he's not gonna let you like inside. He can't really get spammed out. He can go aggressive and try to get a hook. If the enemy tries to go around, they will run into him. So he's basically holding this space. And if the enemy team rotates this way, he can go aggressive, but not too aggressive. Thank you for the review. No problem. Hopefully, Masters, yeah. So yeah, in general, you play Sigma Rothok here. Then you play Hanzo here, either on the high ground or on the low ground. So when the enemy engages this way, you have a free, or let's do it this way. If the enemy engages blue, I said blue, okay, there we go. If the enemy engages this way, you have a free angle on their backline or behind their tanks, really. Then you play Ash on this one for the same reason. If the tanks try to push too far forward, then you get a free angle on them. So the general idea is we try to go for free angles. Ash Mercy. This can also be Widow, by the way. And then your Baptiste just plays all the way back here. So like he can heal the Sigma, heal the Rothok if he needs to. But the general idea is most of these people can hold an angle by themselves. Sigma will probably get pressured, so the way Sigma plays here is as soon as you start getting pressured, as soon as the enemy starts engaging on you, you back out to the next corner, right? You put a shield up, you back up. If the enemy got spam, you're basically hacked. We can't keep the corner up with Sigma Hog? No, that's what I'm explaining. So we hold here, right? If the enemy pushes forward, what your Sigma does is your Sigma rotates to the next corner, right? So that when the enemy is like here, he can keep spamming, and then if the enemy keep pushing the Sigma, Sigma keeps rotating back. The reason for this is Sigma is here to buy as much time as possible for the rest of the team. Sigma is basically the hero that can hold an angle the best in the entire game. Like, the enemy team isn't gonna kill Sigma unless there's, like, the only reason they would is if your Sigma reacts way too late and doesn't rotate. But when the enemy starts moving forward, your Sigma goes back, plays from here, with the corner and the shield, and when the enemy keeps pushing forward, the Sigma goes this way, and now plays this corner. And the idea is that by drawing the enemy further and further into your team, your heroes on off angles, this is Hog, this is Hanzo, get more value. Because the further forward the enemy tanks go to chase the Sigma, the more the backline is exposed. So that's basically the idea of this. Your Sigma wants to survive by going out all the way every like, if the enemy team gets close to the Sigma, we basically lose. That's the enemy win condition. If they get to Sigma, we lose. So Sigma has to be very careful in rotating early so that he doesn't get caught up. And then you just end up playing with Sigma Baptiste over here. You can actually play Sigma Sen as well, because most of these heroes don't require healing. So you can play Sen as well if you really want to pump damage out this way. But Baptiste is also good if you think you will need the healing. So you end up playing Sigma here, and when the enemy is pushing forward, well, your Hanzo has a free angle, your Ashe has a free angle, and your Brothok has a free angle. Basically, you are baiting them into chasing your Sigma, who is the only vulnerable hero in the entire comp, so that your DPS and your Brothok can get value. Because again, if I'm looking at the positions here, that's not really possible on Hanamura. Yeah, that's why this is something you can play on very specific maps. It's not something you can always play. The ones I quoted, basically Havana and Junkertown, because those are the best maps for it. If your Hanzo is here and the enemy is going this way chasing your Sigma, your Hanzo just gets free shots on them. Same from the high ground. If your Hanzo is playing the high ground, he still just gets free shots on the entire enemy team while they chase your Sigma. Brothok from here has the same situation. If the enemy tries to chase the Sigma, even on Junker, I would switch after first point. Yeah, I would definitely switch after first point. It's definitely not as good on second. The way you usually play Brothok is if you let the enemy team push very far forward and you don't rotate, you will get cut off, because again, the entire enemy team is gonna be here. Even if you get a pick, you don't want to die. So the way you play Brothok is when your Sigma goes this way and it's forced to back out, the way what you do is you start backing out this way and you hold this angle instead with Brothok. Right? You can play here as well, for example, or play inside here. So it's like, yeah, you start here, but when the enemy go far forward, you rotate so that you end up here or here, so that basically it's just so that you don't get caught up with the enemy team in front of you. From here, if the enemy team rush you can go this way, you can go to the high ground, you can rotate all the way if you really want to. So it's basically tanks rotate defensively, DPS do damage. Same with Ashe, right? Ashe from this angle can, if the enemy tries to push your Sigma, they just get free damage. That said, a better alternative, like, which is really, like, this puts a lot more pressure on your DPS, is to play Orisa Sigma with the same idea. And you basically play, well, Orisa Sigma, you start here, well, you start on the high ground actually with Orisa Sigma, you don't start on the corner. You start here, then you drop, then you go further back, and the idea is playing Orisa, Sigma, Baptiste, Zenyatta with like the core, and the core just keeps backing out until we can hold this corner. And for those, we'll go with Hanzo and Widow, and Hanzo and Widow just basically have as much time as our tanks and supports can buy us to get free picks. It's the same idea. If the enemy team rushes down mid, rushes down your tanks, then your DPS get free angles on them. If they try to go for a DPS, then you got Orisa, Sigma, Baptiste, Sen just pumping damage out this way. Which in this case, it's Brothog is the threat. If they try to go for the DPS, just hook them and kill them. But that's in general how you play those. And yeah, in Junkertown is a good map for it. Hanamura, not really. On Hanamura, you can play with Orisa Sigma spam. Like, imagine this is the Hanamura choke. You just play Orisa Sigma behind the wall. You just spam. You pull the choke, right? It's pretty good. The problem with playing Sigma Rothog is that they can just take the high ground for free. You don't really have a way, like, Rothog is your only quote-unquote anti-dive hero, and he only has the hook. So if they go Bold Diva and dive the high ground, you go for the hook, Diva eats your shots, and then you're kind of fucked. And yeah, that's basically it. You don't have the same good rotations to make on Hanamura that you can make here, where your Sigma can just basically stay safe for a long time without giving, well, absolute control of the angle. As on Hanamura, you cannot really hold for as long. But okay, I'm gonna take that break. It's gonna be 5 minutes this time, and then we are gonna do Fourth Green Hellstone. So I'll be right back in like 5 minutes. I'll see you soon, chat.